we know our body is like a city, and there are a lot of organs. For example, stomach, lungs, or brain, etc. And there is a very enormous work and very enormous communication in this body. And we know that Allah creates the hormones as the tool of this communication system. And there's a small vesicle in the brain, and this is as small as a bean, as you know, and it is called the pituitary gland, and this gland sends message to the body and also to the all organs in our systems. And scientists also calls this pituitary gland as the maestro of the body, because like the leader of an orchestra, because we know that any, for example, musical note which is in the wrong place in an orchestra, it really destroys the all harmony. But when we can think about it is similar for our body too, because just the failure of this gland causes the also failure of the body for our health. And this gland, as I said, is as small as a small bean, and it is this actually half gram or etc. And it, for example, controls the growth of the body, and then the blood pressure, and the water and the heat balance of our body, and the secretion of the mother's milk, or the production of the production energy from the nutrients. There are a lot of duties that made by this pituitary gland, and we are only just talking about a vesicle, and it has never been out of the dark and liquid environment of the brain. It has no eyes to see, or it has no eyes to it has no brain to think, or also to decide about something. But somehow, with the alhamdulillah miracle of Allah, it can control the balance of the whole body. And we can think about how it is possible, and how could a structure as small as a bean can know the needs of the whole body. It is so miraculous, and we can summarize this process. The cells that form this pituitary gland read the info in their DNA, and after this they work as a team, these cells, and then check the mood of the body. They're really very miraculous. They know how to read the info in the DNA, and then how to decide to work as a team, and how cannot be even one problem about this team, about working together. But mashallah, they really achieve this work, this duty, in a miraculous way. And they produce, after checking the mood of the body, if they see any problem of any need for the hormones, they start to produce necessary proteins, and then some hormones in seconds really, and release all these proteins and the hormones into the blood circulation. And these hormones travel in the blood, and they reach to their target without doing any mistake, mashallah.
And you told that they are checking the mood of the body.
Yes.
This means that they work as a laboratory. Hormone is just a molecule, complex molecule,
yes.
and it works as a laboratory. When we go to hospitals for blood tests, they cannot give the results immediately. But this hormone does this test in seconds.
Yes.
Less than a second.
Yes, they have to check, they have to decide what is less or more, they have to produce and then go to the target. It is really a miraculous process for them. And I mentioned the growth of the body, and let's talk about the growth hormone and etc. This, for example, if this gland produces too much of growth hormone, some body parts like our arms or like legs, they abnormally big, they become abnormally big. And or on the contrary, if does not secrete enough growth hormone, then at this point, for example, the wounds in our bodies don't heal, and this may cause, of course, very serious events, very serious diseases. And as we have talked about the growth, I can mention another miracle about this. All organs in our body, they are waiting for the growth signal that will come from the pituitary gland, but each organ again somehow knows how much they should grow. For example, liver has a shape, or there are long bones or the short bones in our body. Or also we have skin that is very different, that has very different structure from bones, but it is very flexible, for example, and they all have different structures, they all have different shapes, thicknesses, but they grow only as it is, as much as it is needed in our body when they have the growth signal.
Yes. May I mention another example? If our chest has grow smaller, not enough, then our organs, for example, our heart or our lungs, will grow bigger, then it will not be possible for us to live. It will be very dangerous for us. Or so it is very important, as you mentioned, that the organs are growing as much as they could, as they must.
Yes.
Because if one of the organ is growing less or more, it will be of vital importance for our
Yes, it will
body.
tear up the skin and goes
Yes,
out in
yes.
that
Yes.
case.
And just because of this, we know that when we cut our hand, it only starts to heal itself, regenerates the skin, but never becomes another finger on it.
Yes.
Why not? Because it made the whole, of course, the cells, after cells, but we know that it only grows as it is needed, heals as it is needed.
Yes.
And for example, similarly, we know that also liver, our liver can regenerate itself. And if we take out only one piece of the liver, then it can complete itself until it gets to the original shape.
Yes.
But original shape for whom? How do
How
you
can it
know?
know?
Yes,
Cells,
you are.
yes,
Yes,
the cells have never left liver and get out of the liver and look at the shape of the liver from outside.
Yes.
They are inside the liver
Yes.
already.
even yes, it is a piece of the. It is already the piece of the liver. Cannot, as you said, travel around, travel through the liver to see which part of the
Yes.
liver is missing.
Yes.
But
And
somehow it
let's
knows.
say it get out the
Mashallah.
liver and have opportunity to see the liver with it doesn't have eyes. How can it see? It doesn't have brain, nervous system, or any wisdom that can understand the shape of the liver.
Yes.
Yes.
It doesn't have any intelligence in that way. It has the wisdom of Allah.
Yes.
Mashallah.
Liver
Mashallah.
itself didn't know what's its shape.
Yes,
Yes.
of course.
Can
Liver
never
itself doesn't know it is liver.
Yes.
They have to go out and calculate the centimeters and millimeters, and they have to write down. And when a new piece comes
Like a
down, or
sculpture.
yes, when the piece goes out, they have to do the precise thing. They have to make according to the centimeters calculations. But even talking about this is mashallah.
Yes. And when we are giving these examples, it's of course reminds the existence of Allah to us, because every cell in everyone's body is held by Allah and in the control of Allah, and every nucleotide in its correct position in the everyone's cells and in every cell's DNA, and this makes cells produce necessary proteins at the desired moments, no more less or no more less. More, and as we that each system, as we see, are the dependent to the other and cannot exist without each other. And this also shows us that Alhamdulillah, Allah controls every point in our body, every hormones, every organs, or every organelles to makes us live in a healthy way. Alhamdulillah. And in a verse, Allah reminds this truth us. I seek refuge in Allah from a curse Satan. In your creation and all the creatures, He has spread about that there are signs for people with certainty. In Al-Jatiyah, verse 4, it is really important. There are signs for people with certainty. So these signs are for us, for talk about, for think about, for to talk about the existence and the miraculous creation of ourselves and all the universe, alhamdulillah. So it is really very important to learn and to talk about the miraculous creation of Allah, alhamdulillah.